Hello everyone and welcome. Make a cup of your favorite drink and get comfortable because this is a wonderful time for new stories from YellowCat. Send your own stories in the comments below and maybe they'll be in our new video. IT professionals, what's the worst case of computer illiteracy that you've experienced? Part 3. I went to an on-site call with a nice older lady. I had to restore ieframe.dll because it had somehow become corrupt. I went into a command prompt to restore it from the XP disk I had brought along. I typed in a few things, and she was amazed. "You're a really good hacker," she says. I take it in stride, smile, and thank her. She comes in to pay her bill 3 days later and tells my boss how I'm an expert hacker and I should probably go and work for the CIA. My coworkers ribbed me for months about this. Bonus. Once had to go to woman's house 3 times in 1 week because she claimed we scammed her and didn't fix her computer. Her printer and internet weren't working. Every time, for some reason, she had unplugged the printer from her USB port and tried plugging it into her Ethernet port. She didn't understand what the extra cable was for either. 3rd time, I had her sign a paper that said when I left, it worked fine so that the next time I'd have to come out, I could charge her. I am by no means an IT professional, but it boggles my boss's mind when he asks me how to do something in Excel and I don't know, but I Google how to do it, then show him. He looks at me like I'm a wizard. When I worked at a computer repair place, a guy brings a unit in to get repaired and I look at him and said that I couldn't help him. He was kinda irritated and was asking why a computer repair place couldn't repair his computer. I told him it was because he brought in a dehumidifier and not a PC tower. My agency hired a woman that was going to be doing graphic design for our PR department. I was helping her set up her computer and asked her to left-click on an icon. She looked confused and said to me, "Why do they call it left-click if I'm using my right hand?" She didn't last long. In the early 90s, I was trying to get my parents set up on email. My mother said, "I don't want email because I don't want the pedophiles to see me." Facepalm. First of all, how could they? Second of all, Mom, why would a pedophile be interested in a 50-year-old woman? That always baffled me. I have a few. The first was when a customer bought a computer and when she got it home said that CDs wouldn't load in the CD drive. We had her bring it back and took a look and couldn't find anything wrong. She calls back the next day and says she's having the same problem, so we have her bring it in and show her that everything is fine. She goes home again and calls us with the same problem. We finally sent a tech out to her house and sure enough, she had the tower upside down. I had a user call because the printer I set up wasn't working. They were an important customer, so I went out to their site and found out that they moved the printer to a new location. That was the day I found out that if you try hard enough, a USB cord can fit into an HDMI slot. The worst I've had to deal with was when I was working tech support for a web application company. An elderly man called in asking for help loading files from our application to his phone. The problem was that he wasn't very tech savvy and was mostly blind. He called in with an aide to help him, only the aide was literally computer illiterate. I had to talk to the man who then told the aide what to do, only she didn't know what she was doing and would click on random things. The man also, for some reason, wouldn't let me talk to the aide directly as he was the customer, not her. That was the most frustrating phone call ever. It was literally the blind leading the stupid. I used to work IT support for a large American cable/internet/phone provider, one of the big 3 that isn't Comcast or Verizon. Call in for lack of internet access. I can see that he has our modem, but that his router is third party. By company policy, I cannot help you with anything outside of the modem. In reality, because my garden of Fs is remarkably barren, I troubleshoot both. Customer. I have no interest and I'm SF, Special Forces, soldier trying to run secure communications. Me. Account is clearly our light package, which basically means it moves at the speed of a one-winged carrier pigeon that is blind. Ask customer to unplug modem and router. C. I'm not unplugging my router, it's secure. M. Sir, I need for you to unplug both units for 5 seconds. Unplugging your router will not unsecure it. Cue a Holia-driven rant about my overall incompetence and his overall importance as a Special Forces soldier. Again, running a connection that is marginally faster than writing a narcotic script. M. Sir, I can absolutely assist you. I can see a valid signal, I just need you to unplug both units and we can get everything back up and running for you. C. The router is secured behind a locked door, and I'm not looking for the key. Fix this S now. M. Your router is secure behind a locked door. Now looking for something sharp to jam in my eye to make the stupidity go away / stop burning. Eventually convince Rambo to find the key, unplug the router, and reset everything. Thanks me for my service to the country and hangs up. Apparently locking a router in a closet equals securing the router. No, the customer was not SF. In the course of Fisher pricing the reasoning behind asking him to unplug both modem and router, he admitted to being a plumber, but I work with those guys. Also, please note that I was part of Company X's Tier 3 team. Basically, I was a dumping ground for the sad Barbie lady, functionally insane dude who believed both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Oprah were watching him from his/our cable box, the clueless lady who thought power was misspelled on her TV, and the facepalm F this I quit lady has children removed by CPS, her parents ratted her out so she disconnected their cable, which was in her name, calls that everyone else refused to deal with. A few years ago, I worked as an IT trainer. We were training plumbers how to use a new system to log their work and all that business. Day 1, trying to get people to log in, one guy who would have been in his 60s tried to physically put his mouse on the screen to click. Them. My computer's acting up. It won't let me log in unless I'm sitting in a chair. Me. That doesn't make any sense. Them. No, I told my office mates my password and they all tried it. It only works if you sit in the chair. Me. Okay, you really shouldn't be telling anybody else your password, but I'll come down and take a look. So I went down to his office, stood next to his computer, and logged in with my account. It worked fine. Then, while he was still sitting in the chair with me next to him, he said, "Now try mine. The password is blank." Me. Okay, that didn't work, but I can reset your password if you forgot it. Him. No. Sit down in my chair here and try my login again. Me. Okay, but I don't see how that will... Son of a bee. He was right. His login worked if you were sitting down. I spent about 15 minutes swearing and reproducing and giggling insanely, but then I told myself, I know this thing can't tell when I'm in a chair. So what else changes? Long story short, he had dropped his keyboard and a few keys popped off, and when he put them back in, he snapped C and V into the wrong spot. When we sat down, we were touch typists, but when we stood up or to the side, we did hunt and peck and didn't notice the swapped keys. And my login worked because I didn't need the 2 swapped letters. The "you killed my dog" incident. Eons ago, when I was a phone-in tech support guy, a frantic older woman with a southern accent called. Nearly in tears and fuming angry, she kept repeating that we were monsters, we killed her dog, and now she can't see her brother, and she is going to get fired somehow because of this. Almost 10 minutes of reassuring her that we were unable to kill dogs or prevent families from speaking, I was able to calm her to a point where I could find out what actually happened. We had killed her dog, the brother problem was not really our fault, but we fixed it just the same. A few weeks prior, we had been dealing with issues of Clippy activating in Outlook via an Active Directory setting that had been fudged up. To resolve this, we pushed a change disabling Clippy for all users. Unforeseen to us, this poor woman had no idea how to create an email without the help of Clippy, which she changed the skin of to the puppy that digs up the answers to your questions. Our careless change had forced a reboot and killed her dog helper. After the reboot, her Brother brand personal printer took a driver update and wouldn't show up in her printer list without another reboot. We changed her UDUC settings to enable the Office Assistant again and rebooted, thus reanimating her dead dog and reconnecting her to her brother. Problem solved. Starting at a new job with my first task being to convert the organization email system over and train each employee how to use the new system. Go into the office of a lady who is 65 plus years old. Plaque on her wall says she has been with the company for over 30 years. As I attempt to show her the new email system, she keeps asking me how to print emails. She's adamant about printing, and so I give up and show her how to print. She proceeds to print an email she had just received. She prints it on a very large industrial-sized printer near her desk. A printer that seems much too large for just one person to use. I ask her why they have her using such a large printer. She explains that they have a support contract for it that only costs $600 a year for ink/maintenance, and it's necessary because she prints constantly. The email she printed finishes and she staples it together, writes something on it with a pen, and walks over to this large set of file cabinets that completely cover one side of her office. Approximately 12 across with 6 drawers each. She then proceeds to open one of the file cabinets and, with some shuffling, inserts the email she had just printed into a drawer. It was at this point I realized the true horror of what I was witnessing. She, for as many years since she had started using email, had been printing and filing every single email she received. Tens of thousands, if not more, emails were organized into this bank of filing cabinets consuming her office. And now, for the part that will surely make you cringe, the email that I watched her print, staple, and file was an advertisement for Office Depot. She wasn't just printing work emails, my dear friends, but every single email she received every day for years. Customer, I can't get my email. Me. Okay, let's see what's going on. How do you normally view your email? Customer. Hang on. Customer proceeds to open laptop and power it on. She then clicks Safari and opens up MSN search. She proceeds to search for LogMeIn and finds the login page for logmein.com. She logs into her account. She launches the desktop viewer. The viewer connects to her PC at home. She then opens Internet Explorer on her PC. She then clicks her bookmark for Gmail and it's a broken link. A lady called the help desk saying she needed a bigger mouse pad because she was running out of space and couldn't get to the edge of her screen. We went to see. When she rolled the mouse to the edge of the mouse pad, she stopped and looked like, what do I do now? She had been working at this company and using a computer for over a decade. Support here. We quite often need screenshots of issues because users are so inept at describing what they're seeing. So get this. One customer had a problem that would turn out to be very, very common and easy to fix, but nevertheless, she couldn't describe the error properly, so we asked for a screenshot, and then she took a photo of her screen on her phone. Texted it to her husband for him to print off out of hours. He then put it on USB for her. She then, not knowing what an effing USB is, posted this USB to an effing printing company. They got it printed a week later, took another week to get it back to her. She then called up saying, I have a photo of it, what now? Obviously, by this time, we had moved on and had no idea what she was effing talking about, so we just said, send it in an email. She hung up in a huff. We thought nothing of it. So she then scanned it, saved it in an effing GIF format, and finally managed to email it to us. The problem took about 47 seconds to fix. We questioned why it was a scan and why it was in a GIF format, and that's when she divulged the entire story. We were all stunned. How could you even think that was the right thing to do? GD! If you want to watch the part 2, click the link here. Thank you for watching. Guys, thank you for all the support and the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. See you next time.